Jesus. A name that echoes through history, across continents and cultures. A name known around the world, spoken in reverence, curiosity, and sometimes even controversy. His teachings have touched billions, inspiring hope, compassion, and transformation for over 2,000 years. But there's a mystery at the heart of his story, a gap that has puzzled scholars and believers alike. We know about his miraculous birth in Bethlehem, celebrated every year around the world. We know about his ministry, his powerful words, his death on the cross, and his resurrection that changed history. But what about the years in between? The years that shaped the man behind the message? From ages 12 to 30, Jesus disappears from the Bible's pages, leaving us with only questions and wonder. These are the lost years, almost 2 decades of silence. Where was he? What was he learning, experiencing, becoming? These questions have intrigued people for centuries. The answers remain elusive, hidden in the mists of time. The Bible offers no clear timeline, no detailed account of these formative years, but, the silence is not emptiness. It's actually an invitation, a space for imagination and discovery, an invitation to explore the possibilities, to wonder about the experiences that shaped his wisdom and compassion, to imagine the young man who would become the Son of God, living an ordinary life in an extraordinary time. These lost years hold a special power, a reminder that greatness often grows in quiet places. They remind us that even the most extraordinary lives have humble, ordinary beginnings, filled with learning and growth. They invite us to ponder the human journey of Jesus, to reflect on our own hidden years and silent seasons, and they challenge us to fill the silence with our own search for meaning, purpose, and faith. The Gospels, the main source of Jesus' life story, are surprisingly quiet about his younger years. For centuries, readers have noticed this silence, wondering what might have happened during those formative decades that shaped the man who would change history. We have the story of his birth in Bethlehem, a humble beginning marked by wonder and prophecy. We see him as a boy, astonishing teachers in the temple at age 12. Then, silence. The curtain falls, and the narrative goes dark for nearly 2 decades. He reappears at age 30, ready to begin his ministry, stepping into the public eye with wisdom and purpose. This gap has puzzled believers and skeptics alike. What was Jesus doing during these hidden years? Was he learning, working, traveling, or quietly preparing for his mission? Why wouldn't the Bible tell us more about these crucial years? Was it an oversight or a deliberate choice by the Gospel writers? Some believe it's simply a matter of focus, that the Gospels were never meant to be exhaustive biographies. The Gospels concentrate on Jesus' message and his mission, highlighting the moments that reveal his divine purpose. His childhood and youth, though important for understanding his humanity, are not the central story. Others see intentional mystery, a purposeful gap that invites reflection. The silence invites us to contemplate the divine nature of Jesus, to wonder about the mysteries that shaped him. His ways are not our ways, and sometimes what is left unsaid speaks the loudest. His timing is not our timing. The years of silence may hold lessons in patience, faith, and trust. The gap challenges us to look beyond the literal and embrace the unknown, to seek meaning in what is hidden as well as what is revealed. The Bible may be silent, but it doesn't mean the answers don't exist. Sometimes silence is an invitation to search more deeply. It just means we need to look elsewhere, to open our minds to new questions and possibilities, to explore other sources, other traditions, other possibilities. The silence becomes a doorway to discovery. The search for the historical Jesus leads us down many paths, each one offering its own clues, mysteries, and revelations. Could a young Jesus have traveled beyond the borders of Judea? The idea is intriguing. Some believe he may have journeyed east to India or Tibet. There he might have encountered Buddhist teachings and absorbed Eastern philosophies. These theories often point to the similarities between some of Jesus' teachings and Buddhist principles. Compassion, nonviolence, and the interconnectedness of all beings are themes found in both traditions. Could this be more than coincidence? Others propose journeys to Egypt, the land of ancient wisdom. They suggest Jesus might have studied in the great library of Alexandria, immersing himself in philosophy, astronomy, and the mysteries of the ancient world. While these theories are fascinating, concrete evidence remains elusive. There are no first-hand accounts of Jesus' travels to these distant lands. Yet the possibility persists, fueled by the enduring human desire to connect across cultures and find the universal truths that bind us. While some imagine Jesus traveling the world, others believe he stayed closer to home. The Gospels refer to him as a carpenter, suggesting he may have followed in his father Joseph's footsteps. This image of Jesus laboring alongside his father, learning a trade and experiencing the realities of everyday life, resonates powerfully. It reminds us that Jesus was fully human. He experienced the joys and sorrows, the challenges and triumphs of ordinary life. He understood the value of hard work and the importance of community. This period of quiet apprenticeship could have been a time of deep reflection and spiritual preparation. Working with his hands, Jesus may have also been shaping his heart and mind for the ministry that lay ahead. The image of Jesus as a carpenter is a powerful one. It grounds him in the reality of human experience and reminds us that greatness can emerge from the most humble beginnings. Beyond the Bible, tantalizing fragments and stories emerge from the mists of time, hinting at a much broader tapestry of beliefs and traditions than many realize. These ancient whispers, preserved in fragile manuscripts and faded scrolls, invite us to look deeper into the shadows of history. The Gnostic Gospels, a fascinating collection of early Christian texts not included in the official Bible, offer glimpses into alternative perspectives on Jesus' life and teachings. These writings, discovered in the sands of Egypt, reveal a diversity of thought among the earliest followers of Jesus. While their historical accuracy is, debated among scholars, they provide intriguing insights into how different communities understood Jesus and his message. Each manuscript is a window into a world of spiritual exploration and debate. Some Gnostic texts hint at a close relationship between Jesus and Mary Magdalene, suggesting she may have been a key disciple during his lost years. These accounts challenge traditional narratives and invite us to reconsider the roles of women in early Christianity. Others speak of Jesus performing miracles as a child, showcasing his divine nature even at a young age. These stories, though fantastical, reflect the longing to understand the origins of his extraordinary abilities. The apocryphal Gospel of Thomas, another text not included in the Bible, portrays Jesus as a wise teacher, sharing parables and profound sayings with his disciples. Its cryptic verses have inspired generations of seekers to ponder their deeper meanings. While not providing specific details about his lost years, it offers a glimpse into his character and his approach to teaching, emphasizing wisdom, self-discovery, and inner transformation. These ancient texts, though fragmented and often shrouded in mystery, offer tantalizing clues that spark the imagination. Each missing piece is a reminder of how much has been lost, and how much remains to be discovered. They remind us that the story of Jesus, like all stories from the past, has been shaped and reshaped over time, filtered through countless hands and minds. The search for the historical Jesus is really a journey through layers of tradition, interpretation, and faith, a quest that continues to inspire curiosity and wonder, even as the answers remain just out of reach. Modern scholars, armed with historical analysis and textual criticism, approach the lost years with a mix of caution and curiosity. They acknowledge the lack of concrete evidence but recognize the importance of exploring all possibilities. Some historians emphasize the cultural context of first-century Palestine. They suggest Jesus likely received a basic education in the synagogue, learning Jewish scriptures and traditions. This upbringing would have profoundly shaped his worldview and prepared him for his future role as a teacher and leader. Others focus on the influence of prominent Jewish groups like the Pharisees and the Essenes. They explore the possibility of Jesus studying with these groups, absorbing their teachings and perhaps even challenging their beliefs. While scholars may not always agree on the specifics, they share a common goal: to understand the historical Jesus within the context of his time. Their work illuminates the world in which Jesus lived and deepens our appreciation for the complexities of his story. Why are these lost years so compelling? Why does this gap in the story resonate so deeply with people across cultures and faiths? Perhaps it's because the silence invites us to participate in the mystery, to ask our own questions, to explore our own beliefs, to find our own meaning. The lost years remind us that faith is not about having all the answers, but about embracing the unknown. It's about trusting in a power greater than ourselves, even when we don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. These years also highlight the human journey of Jesus. He wasn't born knowing his destiny. He lived a life of learning, growing, and discovering his purpose. In this, he becomes relatable. We see ourselves in his journey, in his search for meaning and purpose. The lost years are a reminder that life itself is a journey of discovery, a journey of faith, doubt, questioning, and ultimately, of finding our own unique path. Despite centuries of speculation and exploration, the lost years of Jesus remain an enigma. The Bible's silence leaves a void that we can't help but try to fill. We imagine him as a traveler, a student, a worker. We see him engaging with different cultures, grappling with profound questions, and preparing for his extraordinary destiny. Each theory, each story, each possibility adds another layer to the rich tapestry of his life. But in the end, the mystery endures. And perhaps that's how it should be. The lost years remind us that some truths are beyond our grasp. They invite us to embrace the unknown, to find wonder in the gaps, and to approach faith with humility and an open heart. The silence, in its own way, speaks volumes. It tells us that life is not always about finding definitive answers. Sometimes it's about living with the questions and finding beauty in the mystery. The lost years of Jesus, a mystery that continues to captivate and inspire. They remind us that even in the absence of concrete answers, faith can flourish. The search itself becomes a journey of exploration, of discovery, and ultimately, of deepening our connection to the divine. Whether Jesus traveled to distant lands, studied with renowned teachers, or simply lived a quiet life in Nazareth, one thing remains clear: those years shaped him. They prepared him for his ministry, his message, and his mission. And while we may never know all the details, the search itself enriches our understanding of his humanity and deepens our appreciation for the mystery and wonder that lie at the heart of faith. The lost years invite us to embark on our own journeys of faith, to ask our own questions, to seek our own truths, and to find our own way to the divine.